Where's the
Wait,
video?
wait, wait.
Where,
The YouTube video isn't lined up. The YouTube video is like most.
you're not screen sharing. Hello, FOF fans. I'm Ultravox, and I'm here with Bill the Pony. We're starting things off week 3, day 1. We have a match between BBZ and Fat Pikachu right here. They've already started drafting, hovering Kennen as per usual. Bill, how you doing today?
I'm doing really well. I took the day off of work today just because of FOF. Got to get ready for this cast. Got to get ready for these games. I'm very, very excited, and I'm excited for Kennen to be hovered after for every single pick.
I respect the team spirit. It takes a lot of dedication. Fat Pikachu, even though they're at the bottom of the leaderboard, man, do they have spirit. Man, do they have the will to keep on going, keep on showing those Pikachu picks. So see what we've got going on in this draft right here. We've got Kane, Pantheon, and Seraphine taken away. That's a lot of the one tricks from Fat Pikachu, or I guess one of the one tricks, and Doyon's most played character. Doyon, of course, having something like 1,000 games in rank this season, the majority of them on Kane.
Yeah, you mentioned them being at the bottom of the rankings, but ultimately, is that still going to be the case if they manage to win this game? We've got both of the teams that are in the bottom of the rankings. So I think of all people to do it, that to hover the cannon against, they might as well do it against BBZ.
Yeah, BBZ also been struggling a little bit, trying to find their place, trying to find the play style that works well for them. Geico, unfortunately, has seemed to be underperforming. So, big ask today whether or not we're going to see him show up and play as we all expect him to.
Yeah, the Amumu got taken away. This MF got picked. A lot of these games recently, we've been seeing the MF Amumu combination in the bot lane. So
Oh,
with
yeah.
that taken away, it'll be interesting to see who they decide to pair with that misfortune. With the Maokai buffs, it might potentially be a Maokai support because that AoE CC and his ult is fantastic in combination with misfortune.
Yeah, definitely. Engage supports go fantastically with MF. MF very versatile champion too. Might struggle a little bit versus the Hecarim. That's also one of the champions that started to crop up more and more ever since the buffs. The kind of almost mini rework, but just actually really strong buffs. He is a menace.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the buffs to the Maokai, who is showing up here, I was right by the way.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
he is more of a flex pick now, right? He's more versatile. He can be a better jungler now. He can be a better top laner now because of some of these adjustments to him. So I'm assuming he's going to be the bot laner, especially with them, or the support with them having Gwen here as well. But it's definitely not a guarantee.
Yeah, I think that does make sense. I did hear from Mizusa that they were considering playing Gwen in a different one of their matches, so probably going to the top side. Excited to see how Geico does with this champion with a lot of outplay potential, a lot of just side lane strength too. Opens up a lot of different avenues for BBZ to play this game because they can send Gwen to the side. Fat Pikachu doesn't really have anybody to match yet, and they also have fantastic team fighting with MF and Maokai.
Where do you think this Ziggs is going to go? Do you think that's a bot lane Ziggs or is that their mid laner?
So it's kind of tough to predict at this point. They might be trying to be flexible with the pick. I think that it'll probably go mid, especially since they do show a Nami here. I can't
Hmm.
imagine that Ziggs Nami is an especially potent combo, so not preferable if it was me.
Yeah, I don't think that you have a lot of setup between the two. So yeah, I don't think we've seen Ziggs all that often played. I remember a couple seasons ago where Ziggs was getting played bot lane a lot in FOF, but he hasn't been played recently, I don't think. So an interesting pick to be pulled out by Fat Pikachu, as they're probably trying to try some slightly different strategies here to try and figure out what will work for them to get their first win this season.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's definitely not a bad pick. Ziggs just clears waves very well. You can kind of avoid team fighting by poking and follow up on the Hecarim engage with a huge ult. Since he will be probably pretty far away, you're able to still contribute to the damage of the team fight. There we go. The
Yeah,
rest of the bans are finished as well.
yeah, we see that, but I feel like there's a little anti-synergy if Hecarim is spreading their team out, but you're wanting to have everyone kind of concentrated towards the middle of the Ziggs ult. So
Yeah,
it's a little bit of anti-synergy, I feel like, between those two picks.
yeah. I would say maybe just a little bit. So have to see how this Ziggs is going to work out for Fat Pikachu overall. Ornn, the top laner, locked in. Not an amazing matchup versus Gwen as far as I'm concerned. You definitely will lose in the side lane eventually, but scaling, you can't deny it.
Absolutely. So with the mid already potentially being picked for Fat Pikachu here, I expect we're gonna they get that they're gonna get the counter pick in the AD position, or they're just holding this potential flex all the way to the end if they are actually going to pair the Ziggs with Nami. I'm really interested to see what that last pick's going to be for Fat Pikachu.
Yeah, kind of an unorthodox draft. I also am slightly puzzled by this one, but yeah, maybe they've got something secret up their sleeve. Last few picks coming in now to round out BBZ's composition. We have Mizuza's Victor, which actually made it all the way to the end. That's amazing. Gets to play that despite it being on B5. And also Udyr, who is actually ridiculously strong right now on this patch. I'm excited to see Udyr debut in Mythic.
Yeah, this team does have a lot of wave clear. I always hate trying to push into an evolved Victor. While the other team, I mean, they have a lot of poke with Ziggs, but it's going to take a while for Tristana to get enough range to really be able to start taking down some turrets.
It's true. They have that funny synergy, though. The tower destruction team, you know, they got the Yordles that love to blow up the turrets, throw the Tristana E on there, execute it with Ziggs. Very interesting from Fat Pikachu. Got a few different things going on there, but we'll see how they do. Let's start getting in onto the Rift here and see how this game will unfold. All right. Here we are, getting in on the Rift. Look at this cinematic camera. Wow, we've never had this before, right?
I know. I'm just sitting here kind of stunned and silent because
Oh
I'm just
Lord.
watching the animations of it. We're so professional, guys. We're so professional.
Dude, look at this. Oh, my, it's just like LCS. I feel like I'm right there. It's amazing. It's amazing. I cannot believe the immense new production value. It's so good. So good. But yeah, here we go. Day 1 of week 3. BBZ versus Fat Pikachu. Let's see how this one plays out. We've got a fan, level 1, nothing spicy so far. But let's take stock of what we got here.
It looks like everybody has bought their items. That's better than I've done recently. But they're pushing Vision here.
Yeah. Looks like Dax and Geico alongside Mizu's and War Leader. They want to try to get in there, get a ward. Doyon, he will be spotted. Snipped a little bit.
Pushing Vision on the bottom side.
Yeah. I like the counter ward there. Tristana mid is going to be the choice. Important to note. Great matchup at a Victor. You just jump on him, try to obliterate him at level 2. Mizu's going to have to play pretty carefully. A historically pretty greedy player, so hopefully he doesn't get caught off guard by this.
Yeah, I think they would have found that ward either way, but Sundubu kept poking her head into the jungle, or poking their head into the jungle multiple times, and it wasn't until the third time that they actually put down a ward. And so it was pretty easy to find that.
Yeah. No real vision advantage gained for Fat Pikachu here, and I think we do have vision from BBZ on the red buff, seeing Doyon right now, so they'll be able to track where the Hecarim goes. It could be a full clear from Doyon, using Hecarim's very fast clear speed. Yeah, that's what it looks like here, so taking it kind of slower, just getting the maximum amount of camps possible. I think Udyr's also going to do the same thing. These junglers, they've got two of the fastest clears in the entire game.
Yeah, so back to what we were talking about in the draft, it's actually Tristana mid here. They did send the Ziggs bot after all, and I'm thinking about the synergy, you know, being able to slow with Ziggs and powered auto attacks in order to help him to land his CC, or sorry, land his skill shots. Um, it's actually, I don't think it's a terrible lane.
Definitely could be worse. You know, you have an immense amount of poke. I think the early trading's really good. They just have to watch out for getting engaged on by Maokai. Could be very bad because neither of them have escape tools, and if Escape himself lays down to make it rain, they could just be struggling to walk away.
Yeah, absolutely. BBZ is going to be looking for the all-in to win in their fights, and the other team will be poking down until hopefully they get enough of an advantage from that poke. But um, as we're looking at these paths, though, we've got BBZ's jungler pathing away, so they aren't looking to get that early all-in to try and shut down that poke lane. And I've been there before, being on an engaged support, getting poked out by two different champions with poke in the bot lane, and it is not fun early in the game.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, they will be weak-sided a little bit. I like that Dax wants to try to get Geico ahead. Getting the Gwen ahead means that it's going to be very hard to contest in the side lane. He's sweeping out this river bush here. Stormblast is just walking up, gets stunned out. Geico starts the auto attack barrage. There's the charge to get on out of there, and Stormblast loses his flash but stays alive. Now Doyon, ready to try something similar in the bot side. Ghost popped. Escape has to flash away, but it won't really matter. Gets knocked up, knocked back. Damage going out. He's just barely getting out of that one, though. Not quite successful. Flashes collected on both lanes for the respective teams.
Yeah, I think that flash was really well done, and actually by Doyon, we got more fighting in the top lane.
Oh, Dax is just coming back around. Stormbless, the target once again, stunned out. Geico can't quite land the snips, but he dashes forward. The
Hey, Chris,
storm from the
I think
Udyr
we've
does
got-
it.
I think I'm ahead of Spencer.
Okay, try to figure that out. I'll refresh my stream. I might be a little bit behind. Here we go. I'm all refreshed. Okay, so let's see. Where were we? Sync it up. We got kill from Dax coming out on the top side. You know, Udyr taking advantage of the early game strength, putting Stormbless in the ground. He's got no flash, so great job from Dax to take advantage of that. Now with Gwen a little bit ahead and Ornn a little bit behind, like we're saying, should be easier for Geico to try to snowball this
Absolutely. I think that that's going to be the more that Gwen gets ahead early, it's going to make it harder and harder because Ornn's just trying to tank up just enough to resist the Gwen and group with the rest of the team, and she's going to be more and more of a problem to deal with in that top lane if they can get that early advantage onto her to scale.
lane. One thing that I'd like to point out is that there's been relatively little action in the mid lane. Mizuza's has only had to use one potion so far, and that means that Sundubu's kind of losing the window where Tristana is the strongest. You want to try to cheese out your opponent and find these early kills, and the fact that they're not means that it's a huge opportunity wasted for FP.
Yeah, I've always found Tristana's a lot easier to operate in the mid lane if you're into a short range mid laner, but in this case, against a Victor, he's CSing great. He's staying well ahead of Sundubu, and yeah, not getting that early threat.
Yeah, jumping away there is also just you never want to see that. But World Leader is in trouble here. Gets charged on. He's going to dodge it with the twisting advance, though. Oh my god, that was insane! If he gets out of here, he's out! Oh my god! So well played from World Leader there. Amazing W and Flash.
Yeah, specifically against Hecarim, I love playing Maokai support because he has multiple tools. Oh, and there's a kill in the top lane.
Perfect. That's exactly what you want to see if you're a BBZ fan. Your bot lane is resisting the ganks, the weak side is surviving, and now your strong side is thriving with another kill on the top side. See the storm slowing them down. It looks like they just have enough damage to straight up finish this off into the turret.
Yeah, both of these junglers doing a great job. They get in early ganks, they burn the summoners, and then they come right back in order to try and get more kills. Or get the kills in those lanes. But ultimately, it was just War Leader being able to get out there by the really good W.
Yeah, Doyon in a little bit of a questionable spot there. Gets collapsed on by 3, potentially 4 people if he had lived a little bit longer. That is not feeling too good. Udir's got 2 kills now. Gonna start getting very strong. I would hate to see, the max power Udyr available. Look at Sandubu 2 so low. Mizuza just dominating this lane matchup, able to maintain this freeze too. He's freshly backed and he's got the chapter. He can hold this for as long as he likes.
Yeah, we got to see at the beginning of the gank in the bot lane, we got to see a little bit of a bit of cheekiness with the Ziggs and Nami combination. Now, Ziggs gets down his AoE slow, and then they get the bubble off of the slow. Not to mention Ziggs gets the slow with his auto attack because of the Nami E, and then being able to satchel charge out of the bubble back towards them. I mean, that's a lot of CC if they can just if they really just get the bubble at the beginning.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's, kind of a tall order to hit a bubble, especially on MF. Got a lot of movement speed thanks to Strut. But yeah, I think the combination could work out pretty well, especially now that Blackpink Trash has the Lost Chapter as well. Also opted for a Dark Seal, so maybe going to try to play a little bit more aggressive to find some stacks onto that. When the top lane, Stormbless in trouble again. Geico just trying to run him down. There's the needlework coming out. 1,000 cuts, but will not be enough. Flash away, keeps Stormbless alive, but now the matchup starts to get very painful.
Yeah, Geico here is starting to run away with it a little bit, pressuring him out of lane. Stormbless does not have teleport up. He's going to get this pushed in really easily, and then I don't know how much gold he's sitting on at this point, but he's going to get an easy back and really just start to dominate it. But it looks like they're going to group and play Herald using that advantage in the top lane.
Yeah, you love to see that. Dax is just having an amazing game so far, able to find the ganks to the top side, finding the objectives too. Will trade out the first dragon, but that's totally fine. You are the team that scales better in this case, I believe. I think that MF and Gwen scale very, very well, as does Victor. Udyr also going to be just laying on the damage after he gets to 2 items, so it's okay to play this slow. You want to Herald, you want to push the gold advantage, and then fight for those dragons later on.
So that's a good trade on the bot side of the map, knowing that the Herald play was going on the top side, grouping up, taking the dragon objectives to trade across the map. But Geico's looking for blood here.
Yeah, we'll be walking up. I think the wave's a little bit too big to fight in, but he's just gonna face tank it all anyway. It doesn't matter. He's got the Omni Vamp item, so he's ready to go. Yeah, almost there to completing the Rift Maker. That's when it starts to get hard. The sustain for Gwen will be immense. And, that might be the signal for Dax to start focusing on this bot lane here, trying to get escape ahead a little bit.
Yeah, I think Geico's going to be completely okay at this point. I think she's going to be really dangerous, even if they come in, if Doyon tries to get a gank on the top wave. So, yeah, I think BBZ is getting everything they want at this point. The gold lead already is, enormous, 2,500 gold at only 10 minutes in.
Yeah, it's very large. Geico stepping up here, gets knocked away from the ultimate. Onslaught of Shadows misses. He's trying to kite it out with the Gwen ultimate. A lot of damage here. There's the needles. Just a little bit more damage would finish off Doyon. Oh, but the brutal proc finishes off. Geico sends it back to the mountain. Dax is here to avenge his friend. Mizuza can't quite collect the assist. Instead, will walk up. He doesn't even want the wave either. We'll leave it in a good spot for Geico, and he's going to head on back to mid. So 1 for 1 there. Doyon gets away. Almost a very clean outplay from Geico.
I know. I was worried about it. Absolutely. Even in the 1v2, Geico is so strong here, but they do a good job. Doyon does a great job of backing out of there to play his own life. And it's just because Dax happens to be in the area there that they're able to collapse and trade a kill back.
Yeah, man, it's going to be very hard for Doyon from here out to try to control this scenario. You got to be hitting your ultimates there if you want to take down Geico, without your life being in danger. Just tougher and tougher as it continues. Dax, he's already finished the Sunfire Cape, the first person with a mythic item on the map, so he's looking back in top lane again. The Udyr is relentless. Gets the stun off, gets some damage, Stormbless. Pretty tanky though. Just walks away under turret.
Yeah, if they can get him a little bit lower, then they're going to be able to look at diving potentially that top turret, start getting more of these plates onto Geico.
He's got the Herald too.
Yeah, they might just drop it right here. There you go.
There it is. So yeah, at least some plates going over. I don't think it's going to be first turret. That turret is pretty healthy. Stormblast has to deal with it though, and it's going to be a lot of money going over to the pockets of the top side of BBZ.
Yeah, I would have liked to drop the Herald a little bit later, I think, there. I think that they had a little bit of room there to get more damage onto that turret. Oh, but it is actually the... Okay, never mind. They kept the tempo up. Dax walks away, gets to move on to the rest of the map, and they still get that first turret over.
Yeah, doesn't even matter that Dax didn't stay around. The gold lead widens to 4K at 13 minutes. Just starting to put a lot of pressure on a Fat Pikachu to make some moves here. Not quite able to get a lot done with their top side being targeted so heavily, and their bot side's not really finding an advantage either. Sundubu finally jumping in on a Mizuza, will flash forward and knock him back with a Buster Shot. Another jump on in. Mizuza's trying to trade back though. War Leader's here, so Mizuza goes down, but Geico picks up another kill, and BBZ has the tempo in mid.
Yeah, they're going to get a lot more plates here in the mid lane as well. Ultimately, Fat Pikachu is the team that wants to group and team fight, but the other team is so far ahead, and their team fight is not bad. You've got Misfortune, you've got Maokai here. I mean, it's not something where BBZ has to skirmish to win.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, this is what Sundubu should have been doing, like 4 minutes ago, maybe 8 minutes ago even, just jumping straight in on a Mizuza, trying to blow his brains out with his cannon, but it's just not going to be working out there. Mizuza almost outplaying that too to survive. So just a little too, it's too little too late there, and Fat Pikachu's starting to see this game start to slip away.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be hard for Fat Pikachu to pull back into this. I think it's gonna really take an outplay or BBZ just really being overly greedy in order for Fat Pikachu to get within range of being able to win this game. I mean, it is so one-sided at this point. Even in the side that Doyon was spending all of his attention in that bot lane, and he really didn't get much for it. He got the early flash, but then the outplay by War Leader kept him from getting the return gank kill on War Leader.
Yeah, now it's time to fight for the dragon. Doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot of contention from Fat Pikachu, though. BBZ walked Geico down, and so they will be a member up. Stormblast had the TP available, but they decide they don't want to fight it. Hex Gates activate, baby! It's time for the Hex Gate Fiesta.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Fat Pikachu is going to do here. I want these guys to win. I always never want to see a team that's winless in FOF. I'm still cheering for Cloud9. That's who it is in Heroic.
Hold that back, though. Sundubu's double stun up from the gravity field. Onslaught of Shadows in on a Mizuza. He's trying to walk away, but Doyon cuts him down. War Leader from the backside also able to help secure the kill onto Sundubu. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of BBZ. They can look at Herald and mid-turret now. Even though they keep trading here, they're starting to find higher and higher tempo advantages. Blackpink Trash has to flash away from the bullet time to escape. On the hunt, flashes forward. One more auto attack will do it. Gets the vision with a blue trinket, and that's all she wrote for Blackpink Trash. BBZ finding everything and more.
In total, it's a 3-for-1 between the two little fights, and it's all going BBZ at this point.
Yeah, they're just getting everything they possibly can. Walking all over Fat Pikachu, just taking everything. Even on these fights that Fat Pikachu thinks they have a man advantage on, we have War Leader roaming in with the Swifties and the Moonplay. He's fast. He's able to get across the map pretty quickly. Dax seems to always be there. He's been having an amazing game so far. BBZ is just so coordinated, it looks like.
You know, what I really think is happening here is, rumor is, after BBZ got another loss last week, they were, specifically Geico was feeling very frustrated. He knew that he could definitely be playing better, and especially with this draft, with putting such a strong pick in Geico's hands, I think it's an opportunity for him to show that he can do so much better than he did last week, and he's really doing it so far. The anime training arc has been a success so far. And I'm really excited to see what else Geico can show us as he continues to advance and improve with what ultimately is a late role swap for him since he's primarily an AD carry main.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like he's playing a lot smarter this week. Wholeheartedly agree. I love the fact that they got inspired after their losses. You know, I always love to see the determination crop up again from some of these teams. And Geico, you know, literally night and day. I have never seen somebody play Fiora like him, but he's going to be fighting a 1v2 down here. He's immune, but he will get feared and pushed out of his shroud. He was healing up with the damage. The Riftmaker keeps him alive. Sundubu in a bad spot now, too. Double kill for Escape, and BBZ, once again, is always there to back up their buddies.
Yeah, even though this is BBZ, a lot of these members were at least Escape and War Leader are previous RLS players from the Ruby League. They play it still this season in Heroic, and they're a little bit known for monkey grouping and just running around the map as a group and fighting.
Uh-huh. Now, luckily, that's working out pretty well. Bullet time dropped. It's going to be doing a lot of damage. Stormblast pushed back. He's under attack by Dax, but will be walking away. I don't think the Ignite gets him here. Just barely manages to survive, but mid turret goes down. BBZ can continue pressing the advantage, looking for more, clearing out this wave at least. Some, not quite another wave to get some damage onto the inner mid, but Geico also has pressure in bot lane. The second Herald doing a lot of work down there too.
I also don't want to take away credit to the way that Dax has played this game.
Oh yeah.
The strength of Geico in the top lane is greatly because of Dax's pathing, coming up early, getting the summoners, coming and return ganking, and then returning ganking, I think at least 2 more times since then. So really, really focusing, using their team resources on getting Geico ahead. But Geico has just done such a great job of using that lead and in order to get even further ahead.
Yeah, like I keep saying, Dax is having a great game. You know, he's on the 2-item spike right here. He's got the Sunfire and Demonic. He's going to be just melting people with the Awakened Phoenix R. This is really one of the first times we're seeing new Udyr, not Nudyr though, in FOF. So really like that it has such a strong showing on its debut. I was very excited for the rework of this character.
Yeah, I don't think the win rate is super high, but
Oh, it is. It
also,
is.
Is it high again?
He's got like a 53 or something in the jungle. He is very strong.
Okay, but even so, I feel like there's always a bit of a bias for champions that are just hard to pilot. And at least me personally, if I've got too many different options of which buttons to press, and you've got twice as many buttons to press on Udyr, you know, I get a little bit confused. That might just be me, but it's really exciting to see what these very talented, mechanically inclined players can do with these kinds of picks.
Wait a second, Bill. You're trying to tell me Udyr, the guy that only auto attacks you, is difficult?
I think he is. I mean, being able to time which awaken depending on what's going on around you. I mean, it's yes,
okay.
You're just right clicking like an AD carry, but you gotta press the right button before you right click.
Okay, I guess the difficulty is subjective then. I'm inclined to believe that, you know, you just kind of click on people. But let's see what happens at this Baron here. The kitties come out, rooting out Doyon. Baron goes down already to BBZ. CC immune. Dax charges forward. Doyon trying to get in the back line. Onslaught of Shadows onto Escape. Escape's kiting it out. They manage to save him. Stormblast gets a big knockup, but it doesn't matter. The bullet time spraying out. Ornn goes down. War Leader frontlining, making sure his team can escape. It's a 1 for 2 in favor of BBZ, and they got the Baron.
Yeah, Fat Pikachu, I don't know if Mizuza insulted their mother or what it was, but most of their kills, 3 out of their 4 kills have all been on Mizuza so far this game.
Yeah, really surprised he went for Cosmic instead of Zhonya's there, but regardless, very nice play from BBZ here, setting up this Baron. They knew they could immediately go to hit. That Fat Pikachu wasn't in position to contest, and just so clean. War Leader able to root out Doyon, prevent him from getting into the pit. It's so nice.
Yeah, that was such a good. I forget which ability it is on Gwen, but the CC immune area or whatever.
The Hallowed Mist, yeah.
Because Ornn, I guess he's gonna hear it, but that was a pretty quick cast on the side of Geico to be able to block that because that fight would have gone completely different if that Ornn ult had been able to hit their team.
Well, it would only block for Gwen. Only Gwen is immune, so Geico managed to keep himself safe, but yes, he did contribute a tremendous amount with the needlework, with the big Gwen ultimate there, just laying the damage over everybody. I do like that she pointed it out, was able to completely immune the Ornn ultimate and keep contributing to the fight.
Yeah, shows what I know about champions and how they work, but
it's okay.
That's okay. I don't top lane, and usually, you know, in solo queue, Gwen's so fed that it doesn't really matter what her abilities do; she'll still kill me.
Yeah, can you imagine if it made everybody CC immune? But Dax, he's a little CC immune, but he's also dead. Shutdown going over to Blackpink Trash. Mid turret will fall. Kill traded back as well. Stormblast goes down, and so does Space Ember, just obliterated by the combined might of BBZ. Geico takes too many turret shots though, and he will die as well. A little bit of a misstep there. Warrior almost went down too. Flash forward from Sundubu, gets stuck in the gravity well, and just blown apart. You cannot walk up to Victor like that. Mezuzah escape, walk out of there.
I did hear this week that Sundubu was getting some training, direct training from Jeff God Gamer himself. And that was exactly the plays that Jeff God Gamer would have taught him, jumping right into 3 members of the other team. I could see that the training is definitely paying off.
I see you exactly on that. Jeff did the exact same play versus TDE in our match last week. Jeff God Gamer branded, Jeff God Gamer approved. Yeah, just a little unfortunate, didn't work out too well there. Sundubu, way too aggressive. But yeah, BBZ, they're making immense use of their Baron power play here, widening the gold gap to 11,000 at only 23 minutes. Things are looking pretty bad, and I can bet the game will be closed out within the next 10.
Yeah, I'd say 7 plus or minus about 2 minutes. That would
7?
be my
Okay.
prediction.
I like that. I like that. I was gonna say 5, but I was like, maybe that's a little bit too aggressive. I don't know. I think they have the power to make it happen, especially if Dax just sprints at him. I'm surprised he doesn't have Ghost, by the way.
Yeah, that is actually very interesting for sure. I mean, it's just for the Flash E, I suppose, but
yeah,
I don't necessarily think that that's great with the rest of your team. You're not really looking to get that one pick so much as...
Yeah, Mezuzah fighting the fight. The bot side just absolutely annihilates Sundubu. Doyon locked up as well. Onslaught of Shadows to get out of there. He's taken down, burning from the demonic embrace. And Dax is wearing. He'll be able to survive and get out of there, but Sundubu keeps on dying in bad spots. Leaves a lot of room for BBZ to maneuver. They're taking all of the camps here. Dragon also coming up in 10 seconds. We'll put the 3rd one on the board for BBZ.
Yeah, I don't know that Fat Pikachu is going to contest this Dragon, but potentially they'll go and maybe see if they can stop Geico and group as a group. Up in the top lane. Group as a group. Kill Geico. Maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah, it probably would take 5 members at this point. He's got Medjez, but it's got no stacks. It's kind of sad. Oh well, he's going to be getting that wave, getting out of there, respecting the power of the full Fat Pikachu squad. BBZ know that they can play this pretty slowly. They have the game in their hands, and it's their game to win or lose.
Yeah, my prediction honestly might be too late. We got Baron in 1 minute. After that, I'm expecting either Fat Pikachu is going to fight, die, and then have their base destroyed, or they're not going to fight, and then they're going to have their base destroyed by the Baron. I'm expecting one of those 2 things to happen here.
Yeah, nobody can sidelane the match Geico. It's just a matter of time here. So, yeah, unfortunate for Fat Pikachu. Things are not looking too good for them. Like you said, I hate to see a winless team. Also, they have some things to work on, though. I've definitely seen some higher degrees of coordination. So hopefully they can get this workshopped out and still contend for playoffs later on. It's a long road waiting out, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to bring it up again, but I kind of do. I think it was mostly Chris who emphasized that these guys were going to be #1 in the league week 1. And
really?
They were power rankings #1 prior to week 1. I think
a
lot of that was influenced by talking up by Chris, and the owner, manager of FOF. Oh, here they go. Is it going to be enough people, though?
Yeah, trying to find Geico. Sandubu getting super low, though. Geico's kiting it out. He's got the damage, takes out Sandubu. Next, he finds Doyon. Wow, this could be the 1v5, but here comes the Ornhorn trying to hit Space Ember here. Gets knocked up and shut down in his tracks. Managed to take down 2 with him. And this is the kind of gameplay that we were expecting out of Geico. Supposed to be the most powerful member of BBZ. Finally putting some respect to his name and paving the way for his team to push through the Fat Pikachu base.
Yeah, I think this is going to be game. I don't think BBZ is afraid here, but maybe they are. Yep.
They've got respawns in 10 coming in for Fat Pikachu. I think they might want to play it safe and just walk out of here. They got the top lane inhibitor. They can start to regroup and refocus on bot side. Turret's almost dead down there, so should be pretty easy. But Stormbless, kind of looking for Dax. Not really a whole lot of damage to follow that up. Mizuza, he's getting the prio all over the place. He will be pushing on in alongside Escape.
Yeah, sitting here on their 2 tank minions. Dragon spawning in 2 minutes. They really don't have anything else to do at this point but just sit here, get damage on these turrets, and oh, that's a lot of damage on the Dax, but just not enough to take him down. He's so tanky.
Yeah, that Udyr build affords you a tremendous amount of survivability alongside damage. Geico getting kind of poked out here. Dashes forward, though. He's somehow not afraid. Got the Hallowed Mist to back him up. Will scoot on out regardless, and now it's time for BBZ to recall, spend their gold, and try again elsewhere.
Yeah, maybe our timing was about right. Maybe we should have gone with our gut there. I mean, coming up Dragon minute 30, minute 20 now. That's going to be Soul over to BBZ, and I don't think Fat Pikachu's in a position to contest it at all, but they...
Don't think so either. Yeah. 14 gold diff. Almost 15. Kind of insane. Don't think there's any way they're even able to kill one person there. Sandubu's so weak. Blackpink Trash doesn't have like the damage to finish off somebody else. He's definitely the most strong member. He has 13k gold from just having insane farm and picking up kills here and there. So good for him, but Stormblast getting run down on the bot side. Gwen ultimate will do it. Snipped apart, cut down. Geico continually finding these solo kills. Now this is it. This has got to be it. BBZ looking for the dub here, taking down the mid inhibitor after the turret. Space Ember be looking for a bubble. Now BBZ down towards the bot side. Escape just needs a few more shots on this to finish it off. They're going to collect the minions, collect the wave, wait for the supers to roll in top, and for all forces to converge into the base right here. Kitties called in by War Leader. They will root out Space Ember, and the bullet time follows it up. Knocked bot up by the tidal wave. Doesn't even matter. Mizuza finds the kill. Now, with 2 members
They're
still
leaving
dead.
the base now.
It's kind of nuts to me. They left War Leader behind.
I guess the Dragon's up here, but I think they're just padding their KDA stats, stretching it out a little bit. I definitely think they could have just pushed in and won that game. Even before they got the 3rd inhib, they could have hit the kitties any moment and used Escape's ult as well on top of it. I think they're being completionists at this point, trying to get every achievement in the game.
Well, they got that Hextech Soul, the most powerful one in the game, so, you know, further pushing their advantage. I hope it makes them feel good, makes them feel real strong. Oh, speaking of before, I really appreciate that everybody uses the Kitty Maokai skin, because that's one of my favorites. I love seeing the kitties roll in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's between that and the I believe the soccer one for me. I do also like the soccer one, but
what does he shoot with the soccer skin? Because I know he throws like soccer ball saplings.
But with the ult?
Yeah, with the ult, do you know?
I don't remember actually.
Okay. We'll have to do some research after that. Yeah, look at the kitty right there. It's so cute. I love it. I love the Kitty Maokai skin. But yeah,
thank you, observers, for highlighting that for us.
Goated observers. The production value has been insane, by the way. This is such a step up. I'm so proud of where we are right now. Just like BBZ must be proud of themselves. Pushing into the base here. Kitty's called in potentially for the last time, rooting out Blackpink Trash. Worley finds his way on the backside. Geico cuts everybody down, and so does Bullet Time. But wait, look at that Ziggs damage. Will it matter? No! Mezuzah alongside Escape below everybody to smithereens, and BBZ finally closes out the game with an ace.
Good for Fat Pikachu, though. They say, oh, you want a KDAS? We're going to make sure to add one more death on the 3 of you guys right before you finish our Nexus.
There's the kitty. There's the kitty. Okay, yeah. Hugely dominant showing from BBZ. Like I said, night and day from where they were before. Dax looked absolutely on point. Geico's looking a lot better, and Escape went deathless. What else can you say about him? BBZ looking super strong. I'm scared for whoever they're fighting tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. But it's been fun. I'm excited for the next game, and I expect it to be a banger.
Absolutely. Yep. GG's. Don't go anywhere, guys. Are we doing interviews today? I don't know. Potentially an interview coming up. Okay, yeah, we are doing interviews today. We're not skipping them this time. So let's hear from the winning team, BBZ.
Hello, everyone. Oh, there we go. It had me peeking there for a minute, and I'll turn this down as I say hello to our friends out there. Man, it keeps making me peek. I'm going to have to adjust this gain in a second. Hi, I'm Chris Edgeworth, playing with my microphone, trying to account for people telling me I've been quiet. So let me just very quickly, while I can keep rambling, turn down my gain a little bit, and that should hopefully be a little bit better. It's not. I'll figure it out. Hi, folks. Chris Edgeworth here. I'm joined by Dax. Just won a big game for Blue Bayou Zoo against Fat Pikachu. Welcome, Dax. And how are you feeling after the win?
I'm feeling pretty good. It was a fun game to play. I got to play the new Udyr on stage again, and we were able to get a lot of what we wanted to do just in the game as well as in draft. So it felt good.
Right on. Well, let's dive right into it with talking about setting the table for this week for you and your team. You were coming into this week with a match against Fat Pikachu, a team that did not have a win and did not end up with a win today. For you folks, you're just right above them on that ladder. I feel like for this game, for you folks, this was clearly not only a must-win, but a should-win. And I'm curious about what your team's thoughts were sort of refreshing and getting reset for this week.
Yeah, actually, I don't know how much of like a must-win it felt for the majority of the team. I definitely think it felt like we should win this game for our standings. It's still the early part of the season, and we've had a couple games that haven't gone necessarily our way. And we also got ganked by California in one game, which unfortunately generated a loss. But I think that overall our losses have been extremely large learning opportunities, and honestly, not getting the dubs, as sad as it is and as tilting as it can be against some of these teams that we want to beat, it's been really large learning opportunities. I think it's going to continue showing as we continue playing. So for this week, I think it was just really good to get momentum since we do have to play UB tomorrow. I don't think anyone was particularly stressed on our side. We've actually scrimmed Fat Pikachu quite a bit, so I don't think we were ever going to be uncomfortable playing them, even if it was going to become a tight game. So they're just a really cool group of guys that have scrimmed a lot. I know they've been testing out rosters, so we happen to just have a lot of experience playing them, so we felt pretty comfortable going into this matchup. So I don't think we had too much stress going into it, which helped a lot.
Let's talk about the game itself then. Overall, I think one thing that people had highlighted coming into this game was Geico getting off the leash, so to speak, and getting their hands on a carry champion and the likes of the Gwen. You yourself, as you mentioned, did get your hands on this new beefy boy in the way of the reworked Udyr. And then overall, I think just a stock standard, at least for friend or foe, of course, the Control Mage mid, and then the Maokai support, the reworked Maokai coming in at support, and then MF for escape. What were your thoughts on the draft that you folks had wanted to put together, and then with the interesting draft on the other side with the Ziggs, not in the mid lane position, but in the bot side, Tristana moving into that mid lane. What were your thoughts overall on how this draft developed?
Yeah, I actually appreciate what Fat Pikachu was trying to do with their draft. I think that in a different game, if tempo goes their way, they have a very possible chance of winning this game with the Ziggs Tristana. I know Ziggs is a pretty good matchup and a misfortune being a Ziggs player on my fun days myself, so I definitely see what they were going for. And Hecarim is also just a really good meta champion right now. I think that the Udyr Hecarim matchup might be Udyr favorite, but again, it's really just all about who gets map tempo first in this game. And honestly, I think it was anyone's game at the start, just depending on how first ganks went.
And overall in this game, it really, the tempo, once you and Geico really started getting your feet underneath you with how this game was going, or at least the way that you folks were able to put out pressure in your respective roles, especially just a really unlucky day for Stormbless, who just sort of had to deal with meaty Udyr just up there. I remember the one trade that they had done 2v1 onto Geico, and you're just like, hey, I'm right here, by the way, guys. What's up? and just overall the amount of pressure that I felt that you both were able to put onto the map was a large part of why this comp was so effective. You just can't once Gwen gets going, she is immune, and then
Yeah,
Udyr
her
just do be
snowball-
like that.
Yeah, her snowball in the tanks is pretty massive, and yeah, once we get Ben going or Geico going, he can continue that snowball pretty good, and will pull multiple. Like he's doing like 1v3 or 1v4 fights in the late game bot lane while we're all pushing mid. It's kind of crazy what that champion can do.
Just as a random aside question, what is your overall experience been like with the new Udyr? I have to imagine that you've been playing this outside of friend or foe a little bit. So what are your thoughts overall on this champion?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I think the kit is much more fun than old Udyr, and I can't wait to see how Riot chooses to balance it. I really don't want it to be a top lane flex personally as a jungler. I want Udyr to stay as a jungle pick, so I'm looking at Riot for some smart nerfs, which I do know they have some up and coming, so we'll see how it affects him. But right now, he's a ton of fun, and using the new Awakened form really allows for a bit of additional gameplay when you're playing someone that's like a farming champion and a tank at the same time. So I've been enjoying it.
Very cool. All right, well, Dax, thanks so much for joining us for this interview. Before we step away, though, your opportunity, any final thoughts, any shout-outs, any banter to leave with us on the desk?
Yeah, I guess to Yubi, you might want to ban Maokai if you're not planning on first picking it, because Ben's top line flex is nuts.
All right, well, free tips here on the desk for those that are listening. The rest of us, though, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with our second game today for Mythic coming up next, so don't go too far. We'll be back with our second game of the night.